How is everyone doing today? I'd like to take the time to welcome you to another morning glory apostolic prophetic center video. I am your host, Dietrich Hubbard, and today we're going to teach a message. All you lose is not a loss. All you lose and not a loss. And uh, I'm speaking particularly to those of us who have lost something that was of value to us. And a lot of times, even when you feel that loss, God has to speak something to you or through you to not only help you, but help others who may be going through similar or the same thing. And a lot of us, especially the ones that I've been mentoring and teaching, we have took some heavy losses uh, this past year and on up to now. You know, we lost marriages, we lost friends, we lost money, we lost time. We think we're on the losing end, and it's a very sad and somber moment. You know, for myself also. But a lot of times we got to understand that if we got this faith in God that we so much like to speak about, we got to understand that all we lose is not a loss. Now, when you understand the definition of loss, it means destruction or ruin. Uh, 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 One definition says it's the act or fact of being unable to keep or maintain something or someone. Then it talks about the partial or complete deterioration or absence of a physical capability or function. It goes on, another definition said the harm or privation resulting from losing or being separated from someone or something. I hear you, Holy Spirit. I'm going too fast. Let me break them down one by one because many of you, I don't want you to harp too long on what you have lost. So we in past messages I gave you about the supernatural separation that God was going to do. And in this supernatural separation, because many of us were connected to people or were validating people who really don't understand the season that we in, what God is doing, what that we may have lost those people. Okay. So when we talk about the first definition of loss, it's a destruction or ruin. You know, many of us, when we lose friends, when we lose family, when we lose money, when we lose job, when we lose opportunity, we often think our life is over. We often think that we can't recover. We often think that's the end of the world. But a lot of times, like I told you, all lose, all you lose is not a loss. Because for some of us, we are in a season that we often have to go through this because God trying to show us not something about necessarily about us, but sometimes by the people we connected to. Because God had to destroy some things so our eyes can open up. And see, because we got to realize people, you don't lose people who don't love you. You don't lose people who just be using you. So you got to you got to be able to pattern your life of whatever you lost and see what is an acceptable loss. See, some loss are acceptable, and oftentimes, when people come at me and I didn't help them or whatever, and they call themselves not dealing with me, that's what I mean now when y'all say they ain't never did nothing for me, because we got to look at the nature of things. And when you look at the nature of things and you with people you call your friend, your family, your husband, your wife, you got to draw the prom line if you lose them. And for many of us, they didn't do nothing anyway. See, this next definition says the act or fact of being able to keep or maintain something or someone. You know, a lot of people will use you till they get where they need to be and they don't need you no more. See, so when you see people like that, what you lost or what you lose, it ain't a loss. God just revealing to you how people use you. This so funny. I was my son's car need to be fixed. You know, everybody know me, know I don't ride around Birmingham. Let me just show you something. And I called my brother. And I know my brother ain't got no driver license and like I said, hey man, I said go over there and get the mechanic and bring him back to finish fixing my son's car. Oh man, I'm gonna burn oil and they about $10, $12 a quart and this and that. I said, okay, I said, I'm gonna send you $50. Would that be enough? And he said, yeah. So I sent him the $50. But because I was looking inside my truck, I got the time confused. So I ride on over there. I ride over there. I said, dog, my brother is leaving. I said, hey, you going to get? He said, that's where I'm finna go now. My brother slicked me. He didn't call somebody to come pick him up. And I gave you $50 for gas and oil to pick him up. And when I bagged my truck up, I got the key to my son's car. And when I got in the truck, that's when it hit me. I said, God dang, I said, he just slicked me. So I said, okay, I said, he probably paid him 5 or 10, or he taking that over there free. So when they finally come back, he got beer in his hand. I'm laughing because my brother slicked me. But watch this. That was an acceptable loss. Because I said, well, maybe he needed the money, you know. So he couldn't, see, because if he needed something, all he had to do was ask me. So some of you, God had to let them go back. Because watch this. We was only good for them for what we can maintain for them. Y'all get what I'm saying? So you got to look at what you lost in this season. Because see, even the world say if a person makes more withdrawal than deposit, something wrong. Something wrong. So we got to understand sometimes when we lose something, I don't want many of you to get teary-eyed, you to get burdened, to get hurt because you lost something. It might be the best for some of y'all. So now you can see, watch this. One or two things gonna happen, especially when you lose people. You're gonna see them for who they really are and what they wanted to do, or they gonna be who you thought they was. Y'all know how many women I done met, and I tell them I don't celebrate holidays, but the minute I ain't around, oh, they going to celebrate holidays. It was already in them. See, I don't need nobody to change themselves to fit what I believe. Believe what you believe. I got family still celebrate holidays. But don't see, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't want nobody around me who I know for sure ain't got their relationship with God, because I don't need nobody around me faking the funk. It's gonna get too dangerous out here to be around people that faking the funk. The next definition says the partial or complete deterioration or absence of a physical capability of function. See, don't cry over nobody who ain't never did nothing for you. See, we can have a tight bond. We can have a relationship, and if things go sour, they go sour. But when you sit back and you look over them relationships, you look over the friends we lost. When you really look at it, what have they done for you? See, a lot of people pride themselves as good and I do this and I do that. Because see, one thing about people, depending on who you are, you only gonna hear one side of the story anyway. You won't hear one side of the story. You might hear the truth, you might hear bits of the truth, you might hear a lie thrown in the truth. But watch this. I don't pay attention to nobody if I only hear one side of the story. See, that lets you know the kind of friends you got, the kind of family you got, because I don't believe in one side of the story. You know, when some of you call me with problems, and especially the people that married, I said, well, where's such and such at? See, I want to hear both sides. See, people that manipulative, people that got an identity to hold up, they'll let you hear one side because they don't want that mask to come off. Yeah, they don't want the mask to come off. The harm or privation resulting from losing or being separated from someone or something. You know, when me and the wife was going through, man, I was so lost. You know, but I had understood something. See, a lot of times you got to let people be who they are. See, a person can only be what they claim to be for so long. A person can only be what you think them to be for so long. And see, when you dealing with people and you being separate from that person, you gonna feel the hurt. You're gonna feel the embarrassment. You're gonna feel the shame. You're gonna feel the sadness. You're gonna feel the loneliness. But somewhere in all that, you got to feel God. That's the only reason I came with this message. That's what he told me to say. Everything you lose is not a loss. See, the gospel still got to go on. Whether I'm divorced, married, single, or whoring, or lying, I got to preach this gospel. No matter what situation I'm in. See, watch this. 1 Corinthians 3 and 15 says, if it is burned up, the builder will suffer loss, but yet will be saved, even though only as one escaping through the flame. You know, going through this divorce, man. I'm here to tell you. You know, I ain't trying to say anything derogatory because, you know, I just tell you what I go through. It's sad to be married to a person for 8 years and the divorce happened and you ain't got nothing to show for it. Nothing to show. no no furniture. You know, I had bought me a brand new crock pot. See, it's something when people don't want you and they take everything that means something to them. See, you got to watch people. You get what I'm saying? And I'm thinking all that jewelry, all them purses, all this that. And it's not about valuing what you do for people. It's look back and see what did you come out of it with value. See, a builder gonna suffer loss, but he gonna be saved. Which means sometimes sometimes what you lose, it shows who that person really is. I see some people go through divorces, they split everything, but these women now they keep you. Why would you keep the wedding rings and you don't want a person? I don't understand that value. Why you would keep people? It saddens me to see the status of who we are, and we call ourselves believers, but we act in a way that's so carnal. See, we'll hate a person's skin, but yet anything of value they want to keep. See, that's people with identity. Acts 27:21. After they had gone a long time without food, Paul stood up before them and said, "Men, you should have taken my advice not to sail from Crete. Then you have spared yourself this damage and loss." A lot of the things we going through because we've been disobedient to God. Even I'm disobedient sometimes to a point. But in my disobedience, oftentimes because of my relationship with God, I tell God what I'm going to do. Yeah, I tell him. And sometimes it ain't the right thing to do. And I know this. But watch this. Sometimes the reason God don't say nothing to me, I told y'all a couple of days ago, I don't even know if I'm going to heaven or hell anyway. So sometimes when I do something, it's because I already see myself in hell. So if I'm going to get punished in hell and I want to do something on earth, I just go ahead on and do it. Because to me, whenever I leave here, that may be where I go. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant or be funny. I often think of some of the things I've done on this earth before I knew God, and I still can't forgive myself for some of them things because they were so, taking people's lives and hurting people and harming people, selling drugs and this and that, and man, that's a lot. That's a lot. So now I'm at a point, and if I can be honest, I really don't care. And the reason I don't care is because it ain't fun to me no more. And I don't know why it ain't fun to me. I have fun sometimes, but it's not fun when I first started. But woe to them who don't, so I ain't got no choice but to do it. Philippians 3 and 7 says, "But whatever what gains to me, I now consider loss for the sake of Christ." See, going through what I done went through now, I can't have nobody around me that don't have a relationship with God. I don't want nobody around me who play with a relationship with God as if they got one, knowing they ain't got one. I ain't got time for people who all of a sudden bring up God when it's something to benefit them. Those are dangerous people. I ain't got time for people who say they had a vision of me with another woman and it was clear. That's a gift. What you did was lie. You got to watch people who will use the gift of God for their own selfish purpose. See, the reason the reason I don't get at people like I used to when they do stuff because I know judgment coming up. And people gonna get what's due them. See, they sitting around here laughing and talking and this and that, and you think you got it going on. When judgment comes, I'ma laugh. Because the key thing about me, I already know what's gonna happen to some of y'all. Philippians 3 and 8. What is more? I consider everything a loss because of the surpassing worth of knowing Christ Jesus, my Lord. For whose sake I have lost all things. I consider them garbage that I might gain Christ. See, this ain't gonna be popular, but I'm trying to help y'all. If somebody died, no, it's garbage. Garbage. That's a mean thing to say, ain't it? It's not mean if that relationship I got with that person hindering the call of God on my life, thereby God has to take. See, when you know who you are in God, sometimes God got to take people out your life to push you in your purpose. That's what he meant by garbage. See, Paul went to the best schools. Paul had the best teachers. Paul had all the credentials. You see what Paul just said? He said, that's garbage. That I mean, see, that's why I don't care about y'all doctorates. That's why I don't care about your seafood alphabets. That's why I don't care about your for fraternities and sororities and Eastern Star. Because any of you, and I mean any of you, you can pick one and bring them to me. You line me up against you, we gonna see who God uses and speak to. See, I don't care about you want to be a freak, shaking on them poles, huh? This is the nasty song she dancing with. I don't care about how you gaining Christ strolling on the block. How you gaining Christ with some sorority around your head. How you gaining Christ? How you gaining Christ? Y'all look go. That's your homework. Go on there and key in any fraternity or sorority. Look at what they do. It's all sexual. It's all seductive. Where is God in that? Shake that monkey. Everybody know what the monkey is. So how you represent God and you shaking your ass, in other words? I mean, come on. How you serving God and you branded with Omega Phi Psi on your arm? All of it garbage. Because Christ ain't in it. See, y'all got to watch people who do nice things and add God's name to it. Just because you do nice things and add God's name to it, don't mean God in what you do. Hey, Judas, go do what you got to do. 1 Corinthians 3:13 says, their work will be shown for what it is. Because the day will bring it to light, it will be revealed with fire, And the fire would test the quality of each person's work. If what has been built survives, the builder will receive a reward. If it is burnt up, the builder will suffer loss, yet he be saved, even though it's one. See, watch this. See, when you going through, and the way you handle what you going through, if it's any deception in it, if it's any lying in it, if it's any anger, if it's any bitterness, guess what? You revealing who you really are. We're testing the quality. So some people are manipulators. Some people are users. Some people are just plain liars. Because see, y'all got to look at it. People don't get rid of people they love. People get rid of people they was using. But you got to see it for what it is. You got to see what it is. Because see, how can you do so much for a person and then they write you off like you ain't nothing? Because they was using you. That's what they were doing. They were using you to get to a level that they might not have attained, or it might have taken them longer to attain. And now that they at where they smelling themselves, they get rid of you. But it ain't a loss. See if you suffer a loss, my prophetic word today, be like Job. God, why my consolation prize? What my consolation prize? And see, for many of you, it might not come how you want to. It might not come through who you see. You got to have your eyes open with a consolation prize. Don't be like over in Hebrews, like Abraham, they walked around their promise not knowing they was in their promise because they looking for something spectacular. Sometimes your promise is just an open door to get out of a place that you need to be. Sometimes your promise is just a no when you used to saying yes. See, don't let people pull on your feelings and allow your feelings to dictate what your spirit know you should do. And see, that's my problem right at this point. Just to be honest. Being divorced, but yet wanting you to be a dad to a son that ain't even yours. How does that work? I never been there. Oh, I know what God says, but how does that work when it comes to my flesh? Will I lash out? Will I ignore? See, when you want what you want, sometimes we don't think about what we want, how it affect us. Because, talking anytime you have any kind of divorce and a young child is in play, the only one that's gonna suffer is the child. But see, y'all know how some of you women are. Y'all can manipulate y'all children to believe whatever they want to believe. And hey, that's between y'all and God. That's between y'all and God. See, it's something to be with people and you look and you get the chance to examine. And when you look around, you was the only one in it anyway. Did I tell y'all what happened? My cousin had one of the most violent nationwide deaths. Did nobody come? Nobody who I helped in their time of trouble. Nobody who I helped in their time of sorrow. Nobody I helped when some people in their family getting killed and stuff. Ain't nobody, did nobody come say, didn't offer me nothing. Didn't offer me nothing. No text, no call, no nothing. Damn 'em. See, that's the little thing that y'all got to pay attention to realize everything you lose ain't a loss. Because you there for them and they ain't never there for you. They don't share no videos. They don't sell no books. They don't talk they wives or husband up. They just take. And if they do give, it's little or very frequent. Then they got to lie about it. But that's life, y'all. That's life. I ain't necessarily talking about me because I talk to a lot of people. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Isaiah 47:8. Now then, listen, you lover of pleasure, lounging in your security and saying to yourself, I am, and there is none beside me. I would never be a widow or suffer the loss of children. See, in other words, oh, y'all think y'all full of y'allself. You think you got what you want. Lounging in your security. It didn't say God's security. It said in your security, which means self-righteousness. I am, I'm all that in a bag of chips. I would never be oh, I'm gonna be all right. Listen here. Come April 8th, and that hammer fall down, Brother Hubbard gonna be sitting back. I'll probably be up in Memphis. Uh, yeah, I might be up in Memphis. I don't know yet. I gotta check. You know, I'm trying to see what God trying to send me. So we either we either going back toward Atlanta. Or, I want to go to Texas too, so I can be around there with my Cowboys. But we got to realize that just because you don't have what you love no more, don't mean that God still don't love you. See, no matter what a person do to you, no matter what a person say to you, don't allow God's love to close your heart so much that you lie to get what you want. See, I'm scared of people. I think I lie. Yeah, brother, I'm lie sometimes. I say a little white lies, getting caught lies. I say stuff like that. But watch this. I got enough reverence for God that I don't make no habit out of it. You could tell when Brother Hubbard in trouble with God, you ain't gonna get no revelation. You ain't gonna get none. And it's sad for you to give your all to people and they treat you like you ain't nothing on earth. See, I wonder when you've been in relationships, do the people in the relationships, do the people in the new relationship the same way that they do you? Do they steal from them? Is they checking phones and emails? I be wanting to know. Because see, we got to understand something. All of us can't have a good relationship if we don't do what we did in the previous relationship? Do your friend gossip with their new friends like they can gossip with you? I don't know. But if you suffer any kind of loss, the word for the day is take an evaluation. And when you take that evaluation, if it don't add up, if it don't add up, don't consider it a loss. You were just being used. You just were being taken advantage of. You just had a good heart. But hey, do what y'all want to do.